Hello children and viewers. So today I am going to derive the formula of lens maker formula and as well as lens formula. I am going to derive lens maker formula and lens formula. So to derive the lens maker formula, I am going to take a biconvex lens or double convex lens. So let us consider it is a double convex lens or biconvex lens and nothing but it has a two spherical surfaces. So now consider, so this is a biconvex lens having the refract index n suffix L. So n suffix L is nothing but refractive index of lens, convex lens, refract index of convex lens. Now consider this lens is kept in a medium that may be air or anything. That medium will be called as surrounding medium. So around this lens, now imagine a medium. That medium is called surrounding medium. So the surrounding medium refract index will be considered n suffix m. So the lens refract index is n suffix L and here n suffix m is nothing but refract index of surrounding medium. Refract index of surrounding medium. Refract index of the surrounding medium. Now consider, so this is the principal axis of the lens and now this is the optic center. Now by taking this curved surface, now imagining this is a first surface, by taking this first surface, so when you draw the sphere, you get a sphere. So for example, by taking this curved surface, when you draw the sphere, you get a sphere. So the center of the sphere will be considered C1. So the distance from the optic center to C1 will be called as radius of curvature of the first surface. And nothing but this first surface has a radius of curvature R1. And now again by taking the second surface as a part, when I draw the sphere, so you get the sphere. So the center of the sphere will be considered C2. This is the center of the sphere for the second surface. Now the distance between the optic center to C will be called as what? Second radius of curvature, and nothing but this second surface has a radius of curvature R2. R1 is nothing but radius of curvature of the first surface and R2 is nothing but radius of the second surface. Next I am removing these parts. So now this is the second surface, radius of curvature is R2, first surface radius of curvature is R1. Now I am imagining a object O here. So this is a object O kept on the principal axis. Now the distance from the optic center to this object, so for example, let us consider here the object A will be there. So here O means optic center, so here A is nothing but object. The distance between the optic center to object will be called as object distance. So that can be represented with the letter U. Now here is the object. So now imagine one incident ray is coming from the object and incident on the first surface, first curved surface. Then when it is incident on the first curved surface, to know its path, what we have to do? We have to draw the normal. So for this surface at this point of incidence. So now imagine, so this is the point of incidence and this is the center of curvature for this surface. So that's why when I join the point of incidence and center of curvature, you get the normal. So now actually the medium will be considered, the surrounding medium will be considered rarer and the refract index of the lens will be considered denser. And nothing but imagine the lens will be the denser medium and surrounding medium will be the rarer medium. So now when the light is going from the rarer medium to denser medium, what happens? It bends towards the normal. So it does not go the straight line path. It bends towards the normal. So when it bends towards the normal, now imagine this is a refracted ray. So now this is the refraction of the light at first surface. Now imagine there is no second surface. So when there is no second surface, what happens? The light will be traveled along the same path after refraction. So now consider this is a refracted ray. If there is no second surface, what happened? Now this second surface will be now this first surface will be what happened? It will bend the incident. It will be bend the refracted towards the normal. Due to that, it will be travel in the medium, and after that it will be reach the principal axis somewhere. So now here which is formed here? Image. Now consider this is the I1 image. So this I1 image is nothing but this image formed by the first surface. If you imagine there is no second surface. So what is happening here? One incident ray is coming from the object and incident on the first curved surface. So at the first curved surface, what is happening? It will be undergo the refraction. It is traveling from rarer to denser. Due to that, it bend towards the normal. If you imagine there is no second surface, what happened? It will be continue the after refraction. It will be continue the same path and it reaches the principal axis somewhere. Now here, what is here? Now here, so what is formed? Image is formed. That image will be considered I1. So otherwise, now consider another ray that is passing in the direction of optic center, then it will be continue the same path. So now this is the first refracted ray and this is the second refracted ray are intersecting here. Due to that, here the image is formed. That image is called the real image. So now I1 is nothing but what here? I1 is the, so here I1 is image formed by first surface. Image formed by the first surface. So that's why at the first surface what happening? Refraction. So that's why when I applied the refraction formula at a first surface. So what is the refraction formula? So the refraction formula, when the light will be undergo the refraction at any surface, at any curved surface, the refraction formula is N2 by V minus N1 by U equal to N2 minus N1 by R. This is the general refraction formula. Now I am applying this formula at the first curved surface. So I am applying this formula at the first curved surface. At the first curved surface. So now already I told what is N1 is nothing but the medium in which the incident ray is traveling. N2 is nothing but the medium in which the refracted ray is traveling. N1 is nothing but the medium in which the incident ray is traveling. So actually the incident ray is traveling in which medium? Surrounding medium. So the surrounding medium refractive index is what? N suffix m. So that's why here N1 is N suffix m. And N2 is nothing but the medium in which the refracted ray is traveling. So in which medium the refracted ray is traveling? In the lens. That nothing but the refractive index of the lens is nothing but what? NL. So that's why N2 is nothing but NL. NL is nothing but refractive index of the lens. N suffix m is nothing but refractive index of the surrounding medium. So now here the image distance is nothing but here the distance between the optic center to image will be called as image distance. That image distance will be considered V dash. V dash. So now apply this formula for first curved surface. When I apply this formula for first curved surface, N2 means what? N2 means N suffix L and the refractive index of the lens by V. So what is the image distance here? V dash minus N1 means what? Refractive index of the medium, surrounding medium by, so object distance is nothing but U equal to N2 minus N1. N2 nothing but refractive index of the lens minus N1 is nothing but refractive index of the surrounding medium by, so R is nothing but the radius of curvature of this first surface. What is the radius of curvature of this first surface? R1. Now let us imagine this is the first equation. But when the light will be undergo the refraction at first surface, so what happened? It formed the image I1. So now this image I1 can be act as a virtual object for the second surface. Now this what is I1? I1 is nothing but image formed on the first surface, can be act as a virtual object and nothing but actually this image is here, but so for the second surface this image will be coming from here somewhere because it is a virtual object. So now this image can be act as a, this I1 can be act as a virtual object for the second surface. So now this I1 can act as a virtual object for second surface. second surface. So due to that, so to know the path of this incident ray, and nothing but this refracted ray. This is a refracted ray for whom? First surface. But the refracted ray for the first surface can be act as a incident ray for the second surface. So actually this is the refracted ray. This is a refracted ray with respect to first surface. Now it can be act as a incident ray for second surface. So that's why to know the path, so I am drawing a normal. Now this is the point of incidence. So how can you draw the normal for this point of incidence for the second surface? By joining the point of incidence and center of curvature of the second surface. So then you get the normal. So now actually the light is going from where? The light is going from denser to rarer. So because actually this is a refracted ray, this is traveling inside the lens. So that's why that is the incident ray for the second surface. So that's why the incident ray is traveling from lens to surrounding medium. So the lens medium is a denser and surrounding medium is a rarer. That's why it bend away from normal. It does not go towards the normal. So now that's why it bend away from the normal. So that's why here the final image is formed. Let us consider that will be the eye. So this is the final image. So eye is the final image, or eye is the image formed by second surface. Second surface. So for the second surface, which is object? Which is object? This I1. That's why the distance between this optic center to I1 can be called as an object for the second surface. Coordinate for second surface or its second surface. When the light is undergo the refraction at a second surface. So what is the object distance? The object distance is nothing but V dash, and so the image distance is nothing but the second surface can form the image of this I1 where at I. So that's why the distance between the optic center to I can be called as what? So final image, that will be considered V. So nothing but here V is nothing but V. But at second surface, so the distance between the optic center to I1 can be called as object distance. And now by taking this I1 as object, the second surface can form the final image where at I. That's why the distance between the optic center to image is called the image distance. But for the second surface, when the light is undergoing the refraction at the second surface, N1 means what? N1 is nothing but, so the light in which the incident ray is traveling. So but the refracted ray for the first surface can be act as incident ray for the second surface. That's why the incident ray is traveling in which medium? In the lens. That is nothing but refract index of the convex lens. So that's why what is N1 here? The first N1 is nothing but, so I told that what I already told that name cheppanu. So N1 ante endante that is nothing but, so that is the medium in which the incident ray is traveling. But for the second surface, the incident ray is nothing but this ray. So this ray is traveling in which medium? Inside the lens. So that's why the refract index of the lens can be taken as N1. And N2 means what? Second refract index, and the is called the medium in which the refracted ray is traveling. So this is the refracted ray. Is traveling in where? Surrounding medium. Surrounding medium refract index is what? Nm. Now apply this refraction formula at second surface. So N2 is nothing but what? N suffix m, and the refract index of the surrounding medium by V. V is nothing but image distance. What is image distance? V minus N1. N1 ante nothing but refract index of the lens by object distance. Object distance is nothing but what? V dash equal to N2 minus N1. N2 is N2 minus N1. N2 means nothing but N suffix m minus N1 is nothing but N suffix L by R. R and nothing but, so the radius of curvature of the second surface. What is the radius of the curvature of the second surface? R. Now let us consider this equation 2. This is equation 2. So now this is the formula when I applied the refraction formula at first surface, and this is the formula when I applied the refraction formula at the second surface. So that's why when these two are added, when when equation 1 and 2 are added రెండు కనుక యాడ్ చేసాం అనుకోండి, సో వాట్ ఆర్ క్యాన్సిల్ హియర్, ప్లస్ n suffix l by v dash is there here, minus l minus n suffix l by v dash there, these two terms are cancelled. When the equation 1 and 2 are added, what happened, this is the minus here and this is the plus here, so these two terms are cancelled. Then what are the terms remaining here, minus n suffix m by u, minus n suffix m by u. Next here plus n suffix m by v equal to, these are the left side terms. Next coming to the right side term, what is the right side term here, refractive index of the lens minus refractive index of the medium by r1, so plus. Next right side term of the second equation is refractive index of the surrounding medium minus n suffix l by r2. Now you take here which common, n minus m and n suffix m. N suffix m is nothing but refractive index of the surrounding medium. So when you take the refractive index of the surrounding medium common, what you get? So 1 by v minus 1 by u. And next here when I take the n suffix l minus n suffix m, n suffix l and the refractive index of the lens minus refractive index of the medium, so then what happened here, 1 by r1. So here what become, minus 1 by r2, otherwise write it down. Now on the left side what I am taking common, n suffix m. When I take the n suffix m common, here minus 1 by u will be remains here, plus 1 by v. So that's why I am writing first plus 1 by v, next after minus 1 by u equal to. On right side I am taking the n suffix l minus n suffix m common. So n suffix l minus n suffix m common. So what remains here, 1 by r1, but here n suffix m minus n suffix l there. That's why when I take the n suffix l minus n suffix m, so here what become, minus. So that's why 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Now bring this n suffix m to the right side. So 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to the n suffix l minus n suffix m by n suffix m of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Now divide this individually. So 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to refractive index of the lens by refractive index of the surrounding medium minus refractive index of the surrounding medium by refractive index of the surrounding medium of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So here nm will be cancelled, n suffix m will be cancelled. What you get? So 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to refractive index of the lens by refractive index of the surrounding medium minus 1 of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So this formula is called the lens maker formula. This formula is called the lens maker formula. So what it is? Lens maker formula. This can be applicable for convex lens as well as concave lens as well as any type of lens, that may be plano convex lens or convexo concave lens or concavo convex lens, convexo concave lens, plano convex, plano concave, biconvex, biconcave. This equation is applicable for any lens, but when you are using this formula you have to apply the sign convention. Remember. Now from this one I am deriving the lens formula. So after that I am removing this part. No, actually this is the lens maker formula. What is the lens maker formula? 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to refractive index of the lens by refractive index of the surrounding medium minus 1 of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. r1 is nothing but radius of curvature of the first refracting surface and r2 is the radius of curvature of the second refracting surface. So now imagine in this situation, so now the object is at infinity. When the object is at infinity, and for example I am taking the biconvex lens. Now this is the biconvex lens or double convex lens. So when the object is at infinity, what happened? So the light rays are coming from the infinite objects are parallel to each other, and as well as they are also parallel to principal axis. So due to that, what happened after refraction? So all refracted rays are meet at a point. That point will be called as what? Focus. And nothing but when the object is at infinity, where the image is formed? At focus. At focus means the distance between the optic center to the focus will be called as what? Focal length. And when the object is at infinity, where the image is forming? At focus. And nothing but here image is formed. And the distance between the optic center to image is known as called what? Image distance. And what is the image distance here? F. And when the object is at infinity, where is the image is formed? At focus. So that's why the image distance is how much? Focal length of this convex lens. As well as in case of the concave lens, double concave lens or biconcave lens. So when the object is at infinity, so what happened? The rays which are coming from the infinity objects are parallel to each other and they are parallel to principal axis. That's why after refraction what happened? So they are appears to coming from the focus. So they are appears to coming from the focus. And then where that actual the real image cannot be formed. Which type of image is formed? Virtual image. So the virtual image distance is nothing but the distance from the optic center to image. This is where the image is formed at focus. So that's why the distance between the optic center to focus will be called as what? Focal length. So this focal length distance can be taken as what? Image distance. And in case of the convex lens or concave lens, when the object is at infinity, where the image is formed? At focus. That's why what is the image distance? F. So now when this is the case taken, when this is a case I am taken, so in this equation, so when you substitute u equal to infinity and v is equal to f, what you get? So 1 by f, 1 by v means 1 by f minus 1 by u means 1 by infinity equal to refract index of the lens by refract index of the medium minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So something by infinity is nothing but 0. So that's why 1 by f equal to n suffix l and nothing but refract index of the lens by refract index of the surrounding medium minus 1 of 1 by first radius of curvature minus 1 by second radius of curvature. Now this is another form of the lens maker formula. When I compare these two equations, now consider this equation is the 1 and this equation is the 2. This equation is the 1 and this equation is the 2. When I compare these two equations, what you get? In place of 1 by f, what is there here? So right hand terms will be same. When I compare the left side term, so what you get? So 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So this is called the lens formula. So this is called the lens formula. This is called the lens formula and this formula is called, these are the two forms of the lens maker formula. So one of the form of the lens maker formula is 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to this refract index of the lens by refract index of the surrounding medium minus 1 of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2, and second one is the 1 by focal length of that 1 by focal length of the any lens equal to refract index of the lens by refract index of the medium minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So when I compare these two lens maker formulas, then you get the lens formula. So this is about the lens formula and lens maker formula. But when we are using these two equations, lens formula, lens maker formula, we have to follow the sign convention. Remember, we have to follow the sign convention. After applying the sign convention only, we have to use these two formulas. Remember. But remember, here R1 is nothing but, so the radius of the surface on which the light is incidenting. Remember. So R1 is nothing but here in this lens maker formula. So R1 is nothing but, so radius of curvature of surface on which incident light is incidenting. So this you have to remember. So actually lenses has the two curvatures. That's why which one taken as the R1? You get the confusion. To overcome that, you remember So R1 is nothing but the radius of curvature of the surface on which the incident light is incidenting. అంటే ఏ సర్ఫేస్ పైన అయితే లైట్ అనేది ఇన్సిడెంట్ అవుతుందో దాన్ని ఫస్ట్ సర్ఫేస్ గా తీసుకోవాలి, ఇంకో దాన్ని సెకండ్ సర్ఫేస్ గా తీసుకోవాలి. సో దిస్ ఇస్ అబౌట్ ద లెన్స్ ఫార్ములా అండ్ ద లెన్స్ మేకర్ ఫార్ములా. So next one, applying the lens maker formula for different types of lenses. So what is the lens maker formula? So 1 by f equal to refractive index of the lens by refractive index of the surrounding medium minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So when we use this formula, so after applying the sign convention, then only we can use this formula. అంటే మీరు ఏ లెన్స్కి అయితే అప్లై చేస్తారో ఆ లెన్స్కి అప్లై చేయాలంటే సైన్ కన్వెన్షన్ అనేది యూజ్ చేసిన తర్వాత దీనిలో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసి అప్పుడు ఆ ఫార్ములాని యూజ్ చేయాలి. సో నౌ అగైన్ హియర్ విచ్ అంటే జనరల్లీ లెన్సెస్ హ్యాస్ two surfaces. You get the confusion. So which surface can be taken as a first surface, which surface can be taken as second surface? So to overcome that, you have to remember R1 is nothing but radius of curvature of surface on which light is incident. అంటే ఏ సర్ఫేస్ పైన అయితే లైట్ ఇన్సిడెంట్ అవుతుందో ఆ సర్ఫేస్ యొక్క రేడియస్ ఆఫ్ కర్వేచర్ R1 గా తీసుకోండి. అండ్ రిమెంబర్ అప్లైయింగ్ ద సైన్ కన్వెన్షన్, సో ద ఫోకల్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద కాన్వెక్స్ లెన్స్ కెన్ బి ఆల్వేస్ టేక్ పాజిటివ్ convex lens, and focal length of the concave lens always take the negative. If surrounding medium is air, these are applicable only if the surrounding medium is air. Surrounding medium will be air, అంటే ఆ లెన్స్ చుట్టూ surrounding medium air ఉంటే తీసుకోవాలి మరి. So these are the important things. Now I am applying this lens maker formula for different types of lenses. So first of all, biconvex lens. This is a biconvex lens. Double convex lens or biconvex lens. So double convex lens is there. Now consider this is the optic, this is the principal axis, this is the optic center. Now for example, so this is the light is incidenting on the surface. So that's why now this surface can be taken as first surface and this is taken as second surface. So to follow the sign convention, simple technique is, so by taking this first order surface as a part, draw the sphere. So you get the sphere, the center of sphere is considered C1, and by taking the second surface as a part, when you draw the sphere, you get the sphere, the center of the sphere is C2. Now already you know the sign convention, all the distances are measured from where? Optic center. That's why the distance from this optic center to C1 will be called as R1, and the optic center to C2 will be called as what? R2. And the focal length of convex lens is positive. So that's why here F is plus F and R1. Now come to the R1. I am applying sign convention for this double convex lens. R1 is nothing but the distance from the optic center to C1. To measure this one, in which direction you are moving? In the direction of the incident light. So that's why R1 become plus R1. And again to measure this R2 distance, so the distance from the optic center to second center of curvature is known as R2. But to measure the R2, in which direction you are moving? Opposite to the incident ray. So that's why R2 can be taken as minus R2. So now you apply the sign convention. Then you have to substitute in that formula. Then you get the lens maker formula for double convex lens. So what is the lens maker formula for double convex lens? So when we substitute these values in that equation, so 1 by f is nothing but plus f equal to refractive index of this lens by refractive index of the surrounding medium minus 1. So 1 by R1 means plus R1 minus 1 by R2. R2 is nothing but minus R2. So then what you get? 1 by f equal to NL by n suffix L by n suffix m minus 1 into, so 1 by R1 minus into minus plus 1 by R2. So now this is the lens maker formula for double convex lens after applying the sign convention. So now in this formula you can substitute directly R1 and R2 values. And next, double concave lens. So double concave lens or biconcave lens. And remember, so convex lens is also called as a converging lens and concave lens is also called as diverging lens. Sometimes in the problem they doesn't give directly convex lens. The lens will be the diverging lens and the lens can be converging lens. That like they will give. So double concave lens. So double concave lens is nothing but, so let us consider this is a double concave lens. Now consider these are principal axis and these are optic center. Now consider, so this is the incident light incidenting on the surface. That's why this surface can be taken as first surface and this is taken as second surface. Now in case of the double concave lens, what is the focal length? The focal length is negative and the f is negative. F is minus f. And now coming to the R1 and R2. So which surface taken as R1? The surface on which the light is incidenting. So this is a surface. So on the surface the light is incidenting. That's why the surface is taken as first surface. If for example if the light is incidenting on this surface can be taken as first surface. Remember. So now already I know that this is a first surface and this is a second surface. So that's why by taking the first surface, when you draw the sphere, you get the sphere and the center of the sphere will be considered C1. And by taking the second surface, when you draw the sphere, you get the sphere, the center of the sphere is called C2. So the distance from optic center to C1 can be called as R1. Now to measure the R1, in which direction you are moving? You are moving opposite direction of the incident light. That's why R1 is minus R1. And the distance from the optic center to second center of curvature is called as what? R2. Second radius of curvature. So now to measure the second radius of curvature, in which direction you are moving? In this direction. That is nothing but the direction of the incident light. So that's why R2 can be taken as what? Plus R2. Now you applied the sign convention. Then you substitute these values in the lens maker formula. Then you get the double concave lens maker formula. So when you substitute these formulas in this equation, what you get? So 1 by f. F is nothing but what here? Minus f. So refractive index of lens divided by refractive index of surround medium minus 1 into 1 by R1. R1 means what? Minus R1. And next R2. So minus 1 by R2. R2 is nothing but what? Plus R2. So this is the what? This is the lens maker formula that is applicable for double concave lens. And now coming to the plano-convex lens. Plano-convex lens. Plano-convex lens. Third one. Plano-convex lens. So now this is a plane convex lens. So this is known as the plano-convex lens. Now this is the principal axis and this is called the optic center. Optic center. So now consider the light is incident on this surface. So now this is the first surface and this is the second surface. And the one surface is the plane and other surface is the curved. In that curved which shape? Convex. So that's why now by taking this the first surface, when I draw the sphere you get the infinity. So that's why when the surface is the plane, so the radius of curvature is infinity. And coming to the R2. So by taking the second surface as a point, when you draw the sphere, you get the sphere, the center of the sphere is called C2. The distance between the optic center to C2 will be called as what? Second radius of curvature. So to measure second radius of curvature, in which direction you are moving? In opposite direction of the incident light. That's why R2 is nothing but what? Minus R2. And now then apply this R1 and R2 in this equation. You get the lens maker formula for plano-convex lens. And next one, fourth one is plano-concave lens. Plano-concave lens. So this is a plane and next one is the concave. So this is a plano-concave lens. And now consider this is a principal axis and this is the optic center. So now for example consider if the light is incident on this surface. Now the surface is taken as the first and this is the second. Now this the first surface is the plane. For the plane surface R1 is infinity. And now coming to the R2. So R2 is nothing but by taking the second surface, when you draw the sphere you get the sphere, the center of the sphere is called center of curvature of the second surface. Now the distance between the optic center to C2 is called a second radius of curvature, but to measure the second radius of curvature, in which direction you are moving, in the direction of incident light, that's why it is positive. It is positive. So R1 is infinity and R2 is plus R2. Then you substitute in this equation, you get the lens maker formula for plano concave lens. Now coming to the concavo convex. Sorry, convexo concave. Convexo concave. Convexo concave lens. So this is the convexo. This is the convexo and concave lens. Now let us consider this is the principal axis. Now this is the optic center. Now the light is incident on the surface. Now this is the first surface and this is the second surface. So by taking the first surface, when you draw the sphere, you get the sphere. The center of the sphere is called C1. Now the distance between the optic center to C1 can be called as what? R1. Now to measure the R1, in which direction you are moving, in the direction of incident light. So that's why R1 will be the plus R1. And coming to the R2, by taking this second curvature, when I draw the sphere, you get the sphere. So the center of the sphere will be considered C2. Again to measure the distance of the R2, what is the R2? The distance from the optic center to C2 will be called as R2. Again to measure the R2, in which direction you are moving, in the direction of the incident light, that side R2 is also plus R2. This is about the convex or concave lens. And next coming to the last one, concavo convex lens. Concavo convex lens. Concavo convex lens. So this is called as the concavo convex lens. Now this is the principal axis and this is the optic center. Now consider the light is incidenting on the surface. Now the surface is the first surface and this is the second surface. Now by taking the surface, when you draw the sphere, you get the center of the sphere, that is C1. That is the C1. Now the distance between the optic center to C1 is called as R1. Now to measure the first R1 distance, in which direction you are moving, opposite to the incident ray, that's why R1 is minus R1. Again by taking the second surface, when you draw the sphere, so you get the sphere, the center of the sphere is called what? C2. Now the distance, this is C2, imagine. Now the distance from this is C2. So the distance between this optic center to C2 will be called as R2. Again to measure the R2, in which direction you are moving, opposite to the incident light, that's why R2 is also minus R2. And when we use this formula, after applying the sign convention, so then only we have to use this formula. So this is the application of the applying the lens maker formula for different types of lenses.